But Kamala Harris, something else she seems to be sort of switching her tune on because she's trying to survive. This is political survival. She's talking about trans sports. Now, Kamala Harris has never defended women's sports, girls in sports. She's never spoken out about, Riley Gaines or any of this stuff that's gone on for years. But here's what she's had to say, right? I agree with the concerns expressed by parents and players that we have to take into account biological factors such as muscle mass and unfair student athletic advantage when we determine who plays on which teams, especially in contact sports. With goodwill and common sense, I believe we can come up with ways to do this without vilifying and demonizing children. Can't you just say no men in women's sports? This is my thing with Kamala Harris. Just say no men in women's sports, and that's all we need to hear. We don't need all this buffoonery and tomfoolery and malarkey. We really don't need it. This is all a bunch of garbledy-goop. This is a bunch of focus grouped BS, okay? Either you support girls in sports or you don't. Either you want men in their locker rooms or you don't. There shouldn't be any wiggle room on this. You know what I'm saying? And I question all this. I think maybe if Kamala Harris were a mother, if she had a daughter of her own who had to go through something like this, maybe she would feel differently. But the fact that she's doing these long run-on sentences, well, we need to take into account this, and we need to take into account that, and then when we're done taking that into account, having said that, no. Okay? It's very simple. No men in women's sports. And what I don't understand about Kamala is it's overwhelmingly popular not to want men in women's sports. This is an 80-20 issue according to a New York Times poll. Imagine if you did a poll that wasn't New York Times. It's probably a 95-5 issue, 98-2. Okay, nobody with logic and common sense on planet Earth, who's touched grass recently, thinks that men should be in women's sports. But Kamala Harris, she's wavering on this.